All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Tom Pelissero says that Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback, and he doesn't understand anybody who doesn't rank him in the top 10. We'll hear from Pelissero here momentarily. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville and Corte Madera, open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get the brisket chili. All amazing. It's all amazing. Tell them that Krug sent you. And this video brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use the promo code Krug, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to your first $100. Well, Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network sitting in on the Rich Eisen show this week talked a little bit about Brock Purdy. And in Pelissero's estimation, Purdy is being underrated by some. And I think that's the best way to say it. He's some people underrate him. Not everybody. I think there's a lot of players that appreciate how good Brock Purdy is. Is he the best quarterback in pro football? No, he's not. But is he a top 10 quarterback? I think he is. Now, ESPN released their list of top 10 NFL quarterbacks, and it was based on 80 league executives and coaches and scouts. But one guy that wasn't there in the top 10 when it came to the quarterback position was Brock Purdy. So they did not list him among the best quarterbacks in the league. He was not included. Jeremy Fowler put together the list from ESPN. He did give Brock Purdy honorable mention. He said one of the NFL's best stories, Purdy, the last pick of the 2022 draft, is 17-4 as a starter, a near Super Bowl winner and an MVP finalist. His play is incredibly efficient with a league-leading 72.8 QBR in his first full year as a starter. He's already on the board with 4 playoff wins. All of this has put him into the fringe top 10 category. So, it's interesting. Everybody weighs in. I saw Skip Bayless said that he disagrees that Purdy he thinks Purdy should be in the top 10. He says it's called intangibles. Pelissero says, I just don't know what more other than continuing to do it and winning a Super Bowl people would want from Brock Purdy. Let's hear from Pelissero right here, and then we'll comment. Here's Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network on Brock Purdy.
TJ?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, we spoke about this team earlier. Last year there was a lot of talk. We heard this title a lot, Tom. Mr. Irrelevant, right? We heard it literally 10 times a week, every week when we were discussing the Niners. But I kind of feel we're at the point, and I want to know if you agree, where we got to put that Mr. Irrelevant title to bed because Brock Purdy is a legit starting quarterback in the NFL, and there shouldn't be any more doubts about that.
Well, wasn't there some poll that came out that didn't have him in the top 10? Recently, or somebody ranked quarterbacks didn't have him in the top 10.
There's been a few ranked.
I understand why you look at him. Just the measurables, the size, the arm. It's not off the charts. He's never going to be Josh Allen. He's never going to look like Daniel Jones or Trevor Lawrence. Any of those guys who are the bigger types of quarterbacks. But there's a reason Kyle Shanahan was willing to draft him. Waited all the way till the final pick in the draft. And it's the processing ability. It's the ability to get the football out of his hand quickly, to see it and rip it. Every quarterback that Kyle Shanahan has ever had in his career has been that type of a guy, whether you're talking about Kirk Cousins or Matt Schaub. You can go down the list of different quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan's had. Not, RG3, that was a different type of a deal, but the quarterbacks that he likes. Jimmy Garoppolo was another one. See it and rip it. Yeah, sometimes when you do that, you throw interceptions. Brock Purdy doesn't turn the ball over like Jimmy Garoppolo did. Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt like Jimmy Garoppolo has throughout the course of his career, other than obviously breaking his thumb and trying to play left-handed in the NFC Championship game, which was unideal. I just don't know what more, other than continuing to do it and winning a Super Bowl, people would want from Brock Purdy. Is he going to be the highlight reel of a Lamar or a Patrick Mahomes? No. But Kyle Shanahan and his system aren't built around making plays outside the scope of the offense or needing to make sidearm throws and things like that. It's Kyle's greatest skill is getting people open. He can scheme people open. What he needs is a quarterback who knows where the open guy is going to be based on the look that they're getting and gets the ball there without any hesitation. It is a rhythm, timing-based offense, and Brock Purdy has shown he do that at a really high level. I mean, if you want to split hairs and say, well, he'll never be Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he won't. Like, what are we talking about, though? Brock Purdy has already won more playoff games than Lamar Jackson in the course of his career. So if the goal is to win football games and you can rely on Brock Purdy to get the ball into the right people's hands, that should be what you're targeting. I guess the question then becomes, once you pay Brock Purdy, can you afford to have this level of running backs and receivers, an expensive tight end, a really expensive defense? Can you afford to have those parts? But that goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes can elevate the level of the people around him. Brock Purdy, is he elevating the level, or is he playing up to the level of really good weapons around him? That's the next step for Brock Purdy, but you still don't have to worry about it this year because he's still not eligible for a contract extension this year. I think it's hard to look at the past 2 years and say Brock Purdy, just based on those 2 years, has not been a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
All right, there you go. Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network on Brock Purdy. And, I think Brock Purdy's done everything you want. 17-4, 17-4. The guy wins. He moves the team down the field. They score points. They score 30 a game. And if you look at Purdy, I mean, pick your stat. I mean, he's third in passing touchdowns. He's number one in yards per attempt by a wide margin. Number one in deep ball accuracy. Number one in red zone touchdown percentage. Number one in QBR. Number one in deep ball catchable rate. I mean, the guy, he's good. And he can process what he sees. To me, I think the best evaluation I think of Brock, or at least the one that I think is the most on point, comes from Alex Smith, who, not surprisingly, knows the position really, really well. And he said, you know what? The three most important parts about playing an NFL quarterback, and this is a guy who played it at a really low level early with high expectations and then eventually got to a really high level. It's like, how courageous are you? How accurate are you? Does the ball come out on time with accuracy? And do you process what you see at the line of scrimmage? Either pre-snap or post-snap or both. So do you process well? Are you tough? And are you accurate and on time? And Brock Purdy is all those things. He processes what he sees at the line of scrimmage. He's really smart. The ball comes out on time with accuracy, and then you mix in high-level escapability is what he has with that really fast 1-5-4 10-yard split. And that gives him another extra, trait that a lot of guys don't have. So he has really big-time escapability. He's very accurate. The ball comes out on time. He processes what he sees. And then at the end of the day, a lot of it just comes down to just pure toughness. How tough are you? These guys trying to kill you are 300 pounds and fast. And it's like dodging, cars on a freeway. And it's disconcerting to a lot of guys. Well, Brock Purdy, it wasn't like everything was handed to him at Iowa State. It wasn't like Iowa State was some monster in the Big 12 and they just rampaged everybody. He had to play at a really high level and probably take a lot of hits along the way to win those games in college. So he's tough. He's accurate. He plays on time. He's mobile. And he can process what he sees. This guy really, and you heard there from Pelissero, he talked about the processing ability. And that's like, processing ability sounds like a category, but basically it's everything all wrapped into one. It's your decision making, your courageousness, your playmaking ability, your guts, your everything, all wrapped into one is your ability to process. What do you see? What do you see at the line of scrimmage? Are you seeing it clearly? Do you know what you need to do? Do you know what your progressions are? 1, 2, and 3. Where's the ball going? What if they make adjustments? What adjustments do you make back? I mean, your processing is your mental reps during the week. It's how much prep you put into, the process of pro football. And if there's one thing that's really clear about Brock Purdy is a throwback in that he loves pro football, but he loves the process of pro football. And when I say he loves it, I don't know if he loves it, but he understands it and he endures it and he goes through it. This guy works hard. He makes us wait on Thursdays, sometimes an extra hour. Why? Because he's having meetings and figuring out a way to win on Sunday. But processing is, how much film study do you do? How well do you understand your offense? How well do you understand the defense you're going against? What kind of rapport do you have with your weapons? It's just there's a lot that goes into it, and I think Pelissero put it perfect. There's all kinds of different ways you can grade out the quarterback for sure, but to me, if there's one that stands out, if you said, give me something, it's like the processing ability is the key. That's like, that's who you are as a quarterback. How well do you see it? How quickly do you adjust? How quickly does the ball get out? How quickly do you process what you see at the line of scrimmage? And that's what Brock does at a really, really high level. And, and I think Pelissero's also got him rated right. Is Brock Purdy a top 5 NFL quarterback? No, I don't think so. I think there's just, think about it. I mean, you got Mahomes and you got Allen and you got Burrow and, you got a few other guys there that are pretty damn good. So I would say top 5, no. But if you were trying to say something definitively about Brock Purdy, you'd say, you know what? He's top 10. He's a top 10 NFL quarterback. Not no ands or buts or, no special, categories have to be created. Top 5, that's a little too lofty. But the people that are saying he's 20s, they're crazy. People that are saying he's mid-pack, they're crazy. He's a top 10 NFL quarterback who I think is going to take it to the next level this year. All right, thanks for watching the Krug Show. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hit like and subscribe and support the channel. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.